Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. This is the 74th episode. So we obviously have a little bit of a special edition tonight because of what today is. We're obviously rocking a bunch of American flags. Yeah, I think we all understand what today is and what it means for the country. But I did want to make sure that you guys understand that there is a little bit something. You know, we're doing something for it. So, yeah. Anyway, 74 episodes, guys. Thank you for all for tuning in. I see a bunch of a lot of the same names here, and even some new ones. I always like seeing that. If you guys have any questions, of course, if you're new to this, feel free to post them up. We're here to answer questions. We're here to hang out. We're here to have a good time. So don't feel like you can't speak. Don't feel like you can't ask questions, because that's what we're here for. But anyway, guys, we got a lot of news to cover. We got a lot of, well, we got a giveaway to finish up tonight. And actually, that's a pretty good segue into talking about what the giveaway is. So, Steve, you want to tell us what it is?
It is from StopBox, the StopBox Ward. And if you're a gun owner, you want this thing. This is the wall-mounted version. I've got the one that sits on the desk, and this thing's phenomenal. Let's go this way.
So, guys, this giveaway obviously is our first one that's not strictly a Corvette part. This is actually for some of you guys out there that own a firearm of some kind. You can store it in this box and protect it from usage that is not, I guess, reasonable. I don't know. Yeah. It's going to keep it locked up so kids don't find it, is ultimately what it's all about. And how much does that retail for, Steve? Do you know?
Almost $150.
Okay. So, guys, if you want to grab this, of course, every $10 entry, every $10 is an entry. And that's if you donate through Venmo or right here on YouTube on the Super Chats.
Or you know what? Let's try something tonight. Every $10 is an entry. Every $50 is 2 entries, and every $100 is 3 entries. We're gonna try that tonight. So up to $49 is 1 entry. 50 to 99 is double the entries, and after 100, you get triple the entries. We're going to give this away tonight, and might as well just go out with a bang.
I agree. What am I hearing?
These nuts.
Yeah, I hear a little fan. Anyway, let's see. What do we got here? So, again, guys, like Steve was saying, it's not going to be just 1 entry. So every $10 is an entry. So if you donate $50, you're going to get 2 times entries. $100 will get you 3 times entries. So basically, if you give $50, it would normally only be 5 entries. This time it will be 10. If you give $100, it would normally be 10 entries. This time it will be 30. So, yeah.
And let's talk about who donated already. That's a perfect segue.
It is. So we had 2 giveaways running last week, guys. So what that means is we have 2 separate lists of donors. And the first one's going to be for the Extreme Online Store, which Mark Cutsey won the carbon fiber mirror caps. And these were the donors we had for last week on the mirror caps from Extreme Online Store. You can see the logo right there. All of these guys gave for the mirror caps. So thank you guys all. You're amazing. You guys really help keep the lights on. And at the end of the day, you took a chance, and you, one of you guys actually won the mirror caps. And if I recall correctly, Mark Cutsey only donated $50, I believe. Do you remember what it was, Steve?
I think I think you donated. That's what you donated.
Yeah. So $50, and he won a set of mirror caps that were well over $200. Now, like I said, we did have a separate donor list for last week because we did have kind of 2 giveaways going on at the same time. And that was this one right here. So these guys donated for the StopBox, which you just saw Steve show. Again, really awesome. We really appreciate the support. You guys are killing it with this stuff. And at the same time, you do get a really good chance of winning this. Because if you can see, we got five donations at this point. So if you want to win that StopBox, you can win it pretty easily at this point. There's not that many entries right now. So like I said, every $10 is an entry. So if you want to throw up a super chat or on the Venmo, which is pinned in the chat up at the top, it'll get you an entry. What's up, Shane? BPR06. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about Ron Fellows, because I want to get out there with the Z06 that I purchased, and a lot of you guys want to come too, and that's awesome, but there is a 6-person limit. So we're going to kind of, at some point tonight, we're going to post it up and say, hey, if you want to come, throw your name up here right now. We got 6 spots, and actually one of them's taken right off the bat, so we got really only 5 spots. Actually, no, 2 of them are taken off the bat, so we got 4 spots. Anyway, at some point we're going to mention this, and I'm going to have you guys just throw your names out there, and I'm going to have to choose the first 4 that want to go, because there's no other fair way for me to do this. It's unfortunate that these groups were bigger for the C8 Stingray, but for the Z06, it's 6 at most. And honestly, they're telling me 5, but someone else told me that they can get 6 in there. So
if there's more than 4 people, why don't you have Steve spin the wheel and you pick the first 4 people that come up on the wheel? That's fair. I mean,
yeah, I honestly would probably just take the first 4 that throw a message up here. I mean, there's not really a great way to do this, unfortunately, but
yeah,
first come, first serve.
Yeah. Evan says, are you rooting for Green Bay or A-Rod? I'm a Green Bay guy. Aaron, I don't know, man. He kind of messed up. He messed up, in my opinion. I do hope he does well, but at the same time, I don't want him to do too well, because at the end of the day, I'm a Green Bay fan, not necessarily just an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Got to see the Green Bay Packer field out west when we did that road trip.
Yeah. Shane says we got 62 thumbs up currently, guys. We could definitely use a little bit more. That'd be pretty cool if you could help us out. Smash that thumbs up button. Yeah, Mark Cutsey says there's only 1 class a week for the Z06. Mark, have you gone to the Ron Fellows event yet for your Z06? Matt Hurley's in the house.
Not.
USA Pure Power says, hello, guys. Blackout Tinting has been working on my vehicle, and she's looking... Yeah, they always do. They have a way about making those cars look better than new. Okay, so, yeah. Mr. T, let's check out that car in the photo. So, as you guys know, that is the car of the week. I think next week we're going to change this up a little bit, but this is how it's going to be for now. Car of the week is Stephen Risha, which I actually think I saw his name in here, didn't I?
I didn't see his name.
that's nice.
I like it.
It is a really
wheels.
nice looking car. And I'm actually going to get you a little bit of a better picture of it, because that's what the new change-up's going to be, is a little bit more detailed shots of these cars and talking more specifically about the mods on them. So let me bring it over to Chrome here real quick. Bear with me 1 second.
Chrome.
So here we go. This is the picture of Stephen Risha's car, his C8 Stingray, right next to his wife's ZL1. Yeah, you heard me right. So he wrapped the hood in matte black to give it that ZL1 1LE look, but it is a ZL1, he told me. So anyway, what we're looking at here is obviously a C8 Stingray, and he has a lot of work done to it. So we'll go over the list of what he has right here. He sent me this, and this is kind of what I want from you guys. If you want to have your car displayed as car of the week, you can throw out there the pictures as well as the mods, and I'll read over all of them. So this C8 we're looking at has the jack pucks, AMT door sill plates, AWE touring exhaust, Expel roof wrap, Expel Fusion ceramic coating, Expel XR tint 5%, sun visor, warning label cover, tail light overlay, carbon fiber replacement paddle shifter, Paragon heat shield blackout, which is something that I actually just asked for, power stop rotors and brake pads, radiator grille guards, carbon fiber engine panels, ACS Z06 rockers, ACS 1VM splitter, Stance SF10 custom painted wheels. Obviously, you can see those. The barrels have been painted white.
I love those.
It is really cool, especially since his car is Expel Stealth Wrap too. I think I said that. No, I skipped that one for some reason. Expel Stealth Wrap. So that's Arctic white, but it's stealth wrapped. So it's a flat white. And it looks really awesome in person. Like, I'm not a giant fan of white cars, but when it's stealth wrapped, it looks totally different. I don't even know why, because stealth doesn't really change white that much, but it does just enough to make that thing look really cool.
Mark Cutsey answered your question. March 25th and 26th, he's going to Ron Fellows, 24.
All right, I had a feeling that he was priority scheduled. So we'll be talking more about that in a second. But since the picture here also shows the ZL1, he also sent me some of the mods we have for the ZL1. Dude dynamic markers. I don't know.
What's that?
I'm not sure what that is, but it's dynamic marker lights, but I'm not sure about the Dude company. Power stop, brake pads, jack pucks, custom wrap with Expel Fusion Plus ceramic, Expel 5% tint, Rotofab intake, carbon fiber interior parts. So the one thing that stands out to me is obviously this guy likes Expel, and that's a guy that I can like too. So
That's
if you
2023 ZL.
if you want to have nice cars, the way to keep them nice is to get Expel. It's pretty much that simple. Let's see.
Nobody's late. That's the same thing Brian said too. He's late.
Beautiful cars. They are very nice. I thought Steven would be in here, but
Diode dynamics. Not dude. Diode.
no, I mean, it says Dude. D-U-D-E.
Dude dynamics?
Yeah, odds are good that probably was an autocorrect, because I don't think
that's what was
I don't
thinking.
think Dude is a company, but who knows
Dude
nowadays.
perfect.
Yeah. Let's see. I had a question up here. Anything stealth wrapped makes it better. Yeah, stealth is really a cool option. If you had a choice between slapping a supercharger on an ERAY or putting a big cam, what would you guys do? Well, I'll tell you this much. I don't think a cam's going to be an option, because a lot of guys are speculating that when the ERAY comes out, they're going to be able to tune it right off the bat, because you can tune the Stingray. It's not going to happen. I guarantee you GM has already changed up the process in which they were able to crack the ECU on the Stingray. I bet you it's already changed, because you can't crack the ECU on the Z06 either. So there's enough of a difference there that without cracking the ECU for tuning, I don't think you can really mess with the cam too much. You could put a supercharger on it and run a piggyback ECU deal, but that's never as good as actually cracking the ECU. Yeah, so Shane, he's taking delivery of his car very soon, and he's about to see what stealth's going to look like on a 70th anniversary carbon flash black. It's going to be pretty cool. You guys definitely stay tuned for that. I will be videoing all this stuff. Matt Hurley says, that's what I was thinking, Justin. ERAY will be a separate ECU to crack, my guess as well. Yeah, I really do believe that that's the case, just because the Z06 is different, and GMs, they don't want to give you anything for free, you know?
Hey, Maddie.
Maddie's Garage, what's up, man? This is white for the win. Really like the white C8. It's a matte white too, so it's right up your alley, man. Do we love the Jets? Plus, I do want to watch that game. So as soon as I get off here for the night, I'm going to turn it on. I just want to see what Aaron Rodgers is able to do. Because if he comes out and he plays like an absolute beast, I'm going to be kind of upset. But at the same time, it is what it is. Okay. So, car of the week, guys. Like I said, Steven Risho's got a bunch of mods, Expel Stealth, all the good stuff. We're going to move on to the next thing, which is the big topic of the night, and that is the potential for a 2025 C8 Corvette that's fully electric. Now, one thing I want to mention here, guys, we've been talking about this for quite some time on this channel. I dug back as far as 3 months. 3 months. 3 months ago, I originally had mentioned the possibility that GM was going to make the C8 ZR1 with a Z06 engine and the hybrid motor from the ERAY. And that was going to be their ZR1. I said that I could see GM being lazy about it and doing it that way versus throwing turbos at it. I don't know. I still don't know if that's necessarily guaranteed information or not, but we've been talking about that for quite some time. And I also mentioned that if the ZR1 existed, it would be a hybrid, and if the Zora comes out, it's likely to be fully electric. And Car and Driver is kind of talking about the same thing. They're mentioning the fact that the Zora or whatever model comes out in 25, which may be the ZR1 or the Zora, I don't know if they're going to use the ZR1 moniker or not. Like I said, I don't personally think they will, but if they bring out a Zora, Car and Driver's reporting it's probably going to be fully electric. So here's the website talking about it, 2025 Chevrolet Corvette EV. So they may drop the naming completely and just call it a Corvette EV, which is weird.
They need to. They shouldn't call it a Zora. I don't understand that. Like, I understand he wanted the mid-engine, but he wasn't like, oh,
he didn't want it battery powered.
Yeah, exactly. That's just stupid to me. I hope they don't do that.
They're going to come out with it being a 25. We don't have much longer on this.
I agree.
Platform. I think maybe 2 years, 25, 26, and then 27 would be a new one.
I really, the amount of money that they put into the C8, I really doubt that this platform doesn't run at least 10 solid years. It is possible.
You know what's good? Right here. You just said a Corvette EV. They literally could start Corvette EV in 25 and run the EV version for a while.
Yeah.
They don't have to, and then maybe later on be a ZR1.
Yeah. And if they were smart, that's how they would do it, because
I won't buy one.
I was going to say most Corvette guys do not want a fully electric car. I mean, most of you guys out there don't really even want a hybrid. I mean, when it comes down to it, you want to have that noise, you want to have that feeling. And you know, there's a select few out there that would want a fully electric Corvette. That's fine. You make a Corvette EV, don't totally go that route. But at the same time, I can see the writing on the wall. The big wigs at GM want to make everything electric, and that would include the Corvette. I mean, the Hummer's already electric.
I don't swing that way, man.
At some point, it's going to happen. Whether you like it or not, it's going to.
John Perkins said he needs a way to get with you and Shane on the 19th because he's coming down.
John Perkins, we will be at the Corvette Museum. If you come in, you'll find us. Any of you guys that want to come in and see the car, hang out with me and Shane, you're more than welcome. We will be at the Corvette Museum on the 19th at 9 a.m. So if you want to come down, hang out, I'm going to try to go through a plant tour or something before we head out. Definitely come down and say hi to us. I would love to see all of you. So any of you that want to come down, just come in and find us. We'll be in there, probably right in the, I can't remember what they call that at the alley where all the cars are sitting, because I think Shane's car should be there. Shane, do you have any idea when that car is going to actually be visible on the cameras? I didn't even think about that until just now. There he is, Steven Risha. What's up, man? Your car's car of the week here. We were just talking about your giant list of mods.
I like those wheels.
How about that dude mod?
Yeah, so Steven, what was the dude mod? I'm guessing that was Diode Dynamics. Somebody thinks that maybe your phone auto-corrected on that one. But again, guys, September 19th, 9 a.m., National Corvette Museum. Come hang out. You can meet up with me, Shane. I think Jeremy will also be there picking up his car possibly on the same day, 2020 Matrix 8. So you might be able to meet all three of us. And that is two really, really awesome cars getting picked up that day. So you should definitely come check it out.
Jason, when's your Corvette Z06 getting picked up?
No idea. I guess when I start lifting more weights. I don't know. It's going to be a while.
All right. So we were talking about the possibility of the Corvette being a full EV very soon. Car and Driver seems to think that it's going to be a 2025, which is coming up really quickly. At this point, we have maybe a year before this thing's pretty much on us already, which is why I'm not 100% sure it's going to be a 25. But at the same time, I do believe we're going to get a full electric C8 Corvette. And it doesn't make a lot of sense because, like Jason pointed out, Zora wanted the mid-engine architecture, but he didn't necessarily want a giant battery in the back.
Yeah.
But, yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on a fully electric Corvette? Would you even consider it? Because at this point, the full electric Corvette would probably have 1,000 to 1,200 100 horsepower. So we're not talking about a car that's not going to perform, but we are talking about a car that's not going to make any noise. It's not going to have your typical engine feel. It's not going to have the soul, so to speak, that the gas powered. Yeah, it is. I agree. It's unlikely for 25, but that's what Car and Driver's saying. At this point, I would think we would already have been seeing these things for 2025, but
we're lucky if we see the ERAY in 24 at the rate they're going.
Yeah, with the strikes, odds are good. If the strike does happen, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. If that happens, we're probably not even going to see an E-Ray in 24. So maybe this EV thing that they're talking about is actually the E-Ray coming in 25.
See, it's like what, when I drove your Z06, I was already planning to get the E-Ray just because, number one, I could get it quicker and whatever. And I really didn't care. But after I drove yours, the sound made all the difference in the world. It's the sound. I had one guy telling me, well, I'm getting the E-Ray because it's faster. Okay, 2.5, 2.6. I'm never going to notice. I'm literally never going to notice. But every time I step on the gas and every time I downshift, I'm going to notice. The sound is 100% there. So and I'm not knocking the E-Ray. I still think it's a cool car because it's not fully electric. But now that I've seen and driven yours, I'm Z06, and thank goodness we were able to hopefully find one and at MSRP. So,
Lance Smith is correct. He says, "How do you mod an EV?" Well, what we can do. Are we gonna buy a bigger speaker so that it's louder?
Well, actually, on that point, so at one point, I was at Blackout Tinting. I was talking to Josh about this not too long ago. He said he started to see just a flood of Teslas coming in, and they were all wanting a stealth wrap. And he was like, wow, this is really weird. Like Tesla of all cars would want to come in here for paint protection film. And he started digging more into it to find out why Teslas were so popular for paint protection film, specifically stealth. And the answer was right there. There's nothing else you can do to this car. So your customization options are a wrap, stealth, expel, and maybe wheels. Outside of that, you're not putting cold air intakes on it. You're not putting an exhaust on it. You're not messing with the cams. You're not doing any engine dress up. Like there's nothing to do with it. So you buy the car and then you drive it a little bit and you trade it in on a new one.
I'm going to go political real quick. We need a new president, and because we have one candidate, Trump has already said he's rolling back everything for EV. Because it's going to, this is not getting into it's going to affect jobs. It's going to affect everything in this country.
The first question I have is, who is president? Like literally, who's president right now?
The guy that didn't go to 9/11 memorials today.
Oh, ouch. All right. We're going to reel it back in here. Clark says, hey, Justin, curious how many miles you have on the C8Z today. I just hit 2,300 yesterday. So I got a lot of miles on it. Or no, it was 2,400 yesterday. I'm almost at 2,500 miles. I've been driving that thing all over the place and loving it. Let's see. Yeah, so Caleb, that's kind of my point too, is he says he'd rather have EVs and internal combustion engines side by side. We should be able to have the choice of having both. Absolutely. I don't think we should ever be forced to do one or the other. And when I say forced, I mean, if Corvette goes strictly EV from here forward and you don't have the option to get the internal combustion engine anymore, then you're being forced. Because now if you want a Corvette, it's got to be an electric car, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of another thing I was saying. He says, Ronald Jackson says, look at all the aftermarket companies that will be hurt by the EVs. Yeah. Any companies out there that make cold air intakes, exhausts. AWE. I mean, I've already seen like the MGW shifter guys. The MGW shifter is one of the best pieces of aftermarket tech, we'll say, for a car, and they're already feeling the pain of most cars going automatic. So it's that on a much larger scale, because all of the aftermarket companies, the only thing that's really going to be left is Expel or like custom vinyl. That's pretty much all you can really do to those cars. There's pretty much nothing else.
Do we have any donations?
Hanging with Shane says, Justin, some subscribers want to see some live feed videos on the 19th for delivery. We'll see if we can do that. Live videos are really kind of difficult to do on the go because from the phone they're just not as customizable as the stuff you see here on the screen. But we'll see what we can do between live videos and actually filming the process, getting some 4K content out there. We'll figure it out. Daryl says, Taj said you will always have a choice.
That might be true, but will the government allow his words to ring
it's
true?
not just that even. It's you will always have a choice for the next year or two. Like
Right.
at some point. At
Two.
some point, it's not going to be a choice. It's not. There's just no way for them to do it.
No.
They're gonna go all in at some point. All of these manufacturers have already talked about it.
And here's the thing, even if they don't, suddenly you stop seeing gas stations at every corner. They start being every 50 miles, every 100 miles. Then
Yeah,
they start getting taxed. So the price of the fuel goes up, making it where it's unaffordable, more unaffordable for people to, to purchase fuel. They have their ways, man.
Joey B's asking our Venmo's going through.
yeah. I'm checking now. So anyway, this is actually a good question from Evan. He says, has Porsche talked about going all EV? Might be a good indicator. Porsche is not. And there's only one reason why Porsche isn't, and that's because Porsche is actually developing a synthetic fuel. And if that goes through, now we're talking about something that can't be refuted, because not only does the synthetic fuel cost less, it's way easier to manufacture. You don't have to dig up fossil fuels, and it burns way cleaner than an actual gasoline. So that's it. That eliminates the need, quote unquote, need for an electric vehicle. We got it taken care of. So if Porsche manages to make that happen, which they must be well on their way, because there's not much of a push from Porsche for a fully electric vehicle. I think they do have one, but they're not pushing super hard on it. We do have Arreste Joey B donated $50. So he gets 2 times entries, so he'll get 10 entries.
Got it.
Let's see. Yeah, I heard Toyota's working on hydrogen. Toyota's been working on that for quite some time, though, so I'm kind of starting to lose hope on that aspect. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing, guys. We're going to mention the giveaway one more time. It is called StopBox, which Steve can tell us a little bit about.
If you don't have one of these, I actually do. So this is designed to put your firearm in, and you go up here and you grab whatever code you want to program, and the door opens up. This one actually has a lock, so you can lock it if you don't want it to be accessible that way. It's wall mounted. And I like, as a gun owner, this is great. This door opens up and the gun falls right out. Pick it up. Fantastic. It's a good way to have it. And I have one in my closet, so I'll be making a video on this soon. But you can get these right now. It's the best time because they're not available to buy right yet.
Yeah, so this is obviously a gun safe. It's going to help protect your gun from a child, but the cost of it's around $150, but it's really tough to get. So of course, you know how the world is nowadays. If it's hard to get, the price goes way up. So you can get it here for a possible donation of $10.
I'll ship it out tomorrow.
There you go. So whoever wins tonight will get it shipped tomorrow. Guys, we got 93 thumbs ups. Let's go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. It helps us be able to get more people in here, more people involved, which of course leads to better giveaways and all kinds of good stuff. So LT4 powered, man. He always has the best things.
Exactly.
A tragic boating accident. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, so Let's move on to the next little bit of news. And this one was kind of an interesting one. I came across an article today that was talking about the JD Power Awards. And apparently the C8 wins a JD Power Award for its multimedia presence. So your infotainment system, your screens on the speedometer area and all that stuff, it ranks the highest in the segment on the JD Power multimedia study, which is really pretty cool, because this, to me, if you're talking about the Corvette being a supercar, not being a supercar, it's fine. Wherever your thought process is with that. At the end of the day, Lamborghini is definitely a supercar, but Lamborghini is never up for any kind of infotainment system awards. So the fact that Corvette tells you kind of all you need to know. A lot of the stuff is focused more on the driving aspect, and you get all of it. You get, heated and cooled seats, you get the heated steering wheel, and you get an infotainment system that's actually worthwhile. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Is it D4 powered the clock that comes to the house? Okay.
That is pretty cool. I think it's awesome that these little victories, we'll call them, that the C8 Corvette keeps getting. So between winning car or being up for car of the year with the Z06, I think the ERAY is up for it again now for the 2023 model year or 2024. Either way, they're getting all of these really, really prestigious awards handed to them for different aspects of the cars. And now even just the multimedia presence is one of them too. It's pretty cool. We got 115 thumbs up currently. That's pretty cool. Let's keep rocking those thumbs ups, guys. It really helps, like I said. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, so one other thing that's been a rumor for a little while, actually a long time, I made a video on this probably close to 2 years ago, was the buttons, the big wall buttons that runs down between the driver and passenger. Supposedly, there's a new reason that this might be happening again, that these buttons are going away. So again, like I said, I made this video 2 years ago, but now it's popping back up because apparently somebody high up in GM doesn't like the design of those buttons. So we actually have a little bit of a rendering here that shows what the car would look like on the inside without the wall. And the thing is the interior design of the C8, I never cared at all about that wall of buttons.
It's actually convenient for a passenger.
Yeah,
it is.
I can change my own temperature and everything all by myself instead of reaching across.
I don't get why people seem to care so much about it. Like every now and then I'll come across one guy that's just like, oh, I can't stand it. And then I'm like,
who cares?
Why? Yeah, so Jason,
I didn't like it in the beginning, but now that I own the car, I love it. Just like the steering wheel, I thought was stupid.
Yeah.
Now, after driving it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I love steering wheel.
What do you think about the wall button, Steve? Does it bother you?
No, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think Amber's too. I think it's great for a passenger having accessibility. You can look there and do everything. You don't have to hey, can you turn this down? Can you reach over?
Yeah.
It's great.
Justin's like, just do it yourself.
Yeah. I mean, on the C7, the buttons were over on the passenger side as well for like heated and cooled seats and the temperature and everything. So GM has always been pretty mindful of making sure both people are, comfortable, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like to get rid of those buttons, you got to totally redesign the center part of the car. Like it doesn't make sense. I mean,
now it looks like a cockpit. I love that.
Look at the picture again, and I couldn't see it very well because it's on the computer here. But is it still there? Just it kind of starts flat and then further up goes up, or no?
Yeah. So it looks. I mean, this is just a rendering, but it looks a lot like the C7 did with that little grab handle there in the center, and then the rest of the buttons are down below. But it's only some of the buttons. The rest of them for the driver look like they're either relocated or possibly just only available on the infotainment system.
Which that's harder to get to.
It is it is much more difficult to mess with it that way. And that's why I don't see GM really doing this. But this has been one of those rumors that just keeps popping up from time to time. So I feel like there's got to be some form of truth to it.
That's the only button that I can't stand is the volume button and the home button on the infotainment. I hate you have to reach around.
Yeah,
the
the placement of those buttons is poor. Yeah, I talked to Larry Anthony about this one time. It was a phone call. We were on the phone talking about how bad the volume knob location. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it is.
It should have been on the other side. Like you could have put it on the right side instead of the left.
You'd be able to take your hand from the selector and just reach up and turn it right there.
Yep.
Not reach around and try. I'm actually physically looking sometimes.
It's on the bottom of the steering wheel, so it's not that hard. You know what I mean? But I mean, you don't have to reach up. You can just do it from the bottom of the steering wheel.
Yeah, but for the home button, you don't have a choice. You have to hit that home button.
Right.
And if you're holding the wheel like this and you're driving, you do kind of have to like go look around to see the knob or the button. So I'd be okay with them replacing or relocating those buttons, but the center buttons don't. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's unique to the C8 series. They should just keep it.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's basically one of those defining features of the C8. Like you change it now, and you're kind of throwing things out of whack. But it is one of those things that keeps coming up. So I wanted to.
That's cool. Did you see that?
I wanted to mention it.
Go back to that where you're at.
What?
No, the comments. You lost the comments.
Oh.
Somebody had a nice comment. Big American flag cover Monday night's football game honoring 9/11 with the national anthem. That's cool.
All right, so we got 125 thumbs up currently, guys. That's awesome. Let's keep rolling with those. I wanted to mention two things that happened over the weekend for me. So I took my C7 Corvette ZR1 to the dyno because I wanted to test out two new air filters coming from Attack Blue. So you guys know I love the Attack Blue air filters. I have them for my C8, for my C7, and they're on my website. I work closely with the guy who runs the business, and he asked me about making an Attack Blue air filter for the C7 Corvette Performance Jake intake. So if you have the Performance Air box from GM, it's a different air filter. So he wants to make one for it. So I said, awesome, I'm ready for that. He sent me two different prototypes to test, and I'll be honest with you guys. I expected these air filters to make somewhere between 7 and 10 horsepower because it's an air filter. What can it really do? I'm sitting here now to tell you that we tested the first one, which was a really larger option. It picked up 40 horsepower. 40. 40. If I had not seen it, and you will see the video I have coming out soon, if I had not seen it in person, I would have never ever said an air filter is capable of this. If you guys remember, not too long ago, we were on a live video talking about the C7 Corvette Z06 that's on their website. They said that their air filter for that car picks up 30 horsepower. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I literally saw it in person. This filter picks up 40 horsepower. And like I said, I have a video of it. I filmed all of it. I'll show you guys that very soon. But how is that possible? I don't know. The ZR1 is obviously a supercharged platform, so superchargers do benefit a little bit better with more air. So that's probably part of the reason. But just so we know, it is possible to gain 40 horsepower from a freaking air filter.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then another thing. Excuse you.
He's joking.
Honestly, Paul Yunker, if I hadn't seen it myself, I would have told you it is not possible. But I did. We actually did 6 runs with this air filter. So we did 3, paused, let the car cool down, and then another 3 with the same air filter, and it was consistently making 40 additional horsepower on top of what the air filter I had in there before made.
This is on the ZR1, right? Not the Z06.
Yeah, it's on the ZR1, right. And honestly, on a non-supercharged application, I don't think the power gain would be as much because a supercharger really relies on air, obviously. So it can take in additional air if the filter allows it to flow better. It's a dry filter, David. I don't really mess around with wet filters anymore. Yeah, so Matt, that was another thing that was brought up to me was the C6 Corvette. benefited a lot from the Attack Blue air filter as well. No, so Steve, my air filter that I had in the car was a brand new Jake performance air intake filter. I just replaced it maybe 500 miles ago.
Wow.
LT4
Yeah.
Pilot said, just think if you added a few stickers.
I know, right? Each sticker is worth like 5 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Shane says we got 126 thumbs ups, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps. And of course, the more people that are in here, the better for everybody. So, was the filter hollow? Most air filters are hollow. They have to have a hollow section to connect to the car. Yeah, Matt Hurley said we used to get 20 to 30 horsepower on the C6 ZR1s by adding the Attack Blue air filter. So same kind of thing. The C6 ZR1 is a supercharged application, so it's going to be able to breathe better. And it relies a lot on air, so it's forcing air into the engine, and it's got to pull that air through that air filter. So the easier it can do that, the more power you're going to make. But anyway, I just wanted to put this out there because 40 horsepower is insane for an air filter, especially when you add in the fact that the air filter is going to be less than $200. For $200 for 40 horsepower that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So isn't it reusable?
Yeah, so it's reusable. It's nanofiber, which actually has been proven to flow better and filter just as much as stock does. So no, it's not an open air intake. Although if I took the air filter off and ran it completely open, I can only imagine it would be a hair more than 40 horsepower. Like, this filter is flowing very well. But the other thing I want to talk about, guys, is I got an email over this weekend from Keith French, actually. I think he's in here. He was talking about his C8 Corvette Z06 and how he was having a problem with the engine oil smelling like gasoline. This is something that I've read a couple times out there, and it's been something that's been on my mind because it didn't really make sense to me. The engine oil smells like gasoline, and you'll hear some people talking about how the engines are dumping gasoline into the crankcase, which really doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, he said his smelled like gas, so he took it to the dealership, and the dealer was talking about, basically hinted at the fact that he was probably going to need a new engine if that was what was happening. So he was upset, naturally, because he just got his Z06. But then I guess the dealer started talking a little bit more about it, pulled out the dipstick to see what the deal was. They smelled it, and it does have a gassy smell to it. But then they realized that that's the oil. The oil literally has a gassy smell to it. The Z06 oil is a special supercar 5W50 oil, and the dealership told him, take a bottle of this, put it in the microwave for however long, warm it up basically, and then open it up and smell it. And he did that, and he said it smelled exactly like gas. And that's a brand new bottle of oil. So
that's good.
it is very good. But I've noticed this is coming up a lot. And I've seen some people talking about it, and it doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, you have a serious engine problem. There's really not going to be just an engine running normally, dumping fuel into your oil. It doesn't work like that. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of clear this up because some guys out there are super scared about the Z06 because of this, some people typing this stuff and running wild with it. It's not really a problem. If your engine is in pieces, then maybe it's dumping gas. But yeah, guys, there's Onyx. Look, he's actually looking at the screen. You see him? He was looking at the screen. Oh, what a cute dog.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I had to say, because I really wanted to make sure people understand it's not really an issue. I actually got my oil changed in the Z06. I got it changed pretty early just for argument's sake, basically. And I had the tech there make sure that there was no gas smell or anything, and there was nothing.
Thanks, Paul.
Paul says Onyx is so cute. Yeah, he is. He's a good boy.
He said the horsepower obsessed and that stuff.
Stupid Fast Truck says you should also be gaining volume of oil. If the oil level is going up, then you have a problem. So that is, again, partially true. The oil level is going to go up under one situation, and it's not going to go massively up. As the car heats up, the oil level is going to increase. Now, I'm not talking by inches on the dipstick, but it is going to increase. So if you see an oil level going up a little bit and you think you smell gas in there, odds are good it's just the oil expanding from heat, and it's the smell of the 5W50. So if you pull out your dipstick and the oil level's all the way up to the top of it, then yeah, you got yourself a problem. But again, there's some people out there talking about this stuff, and it's making everybody crazy, and they're getting scared watching their own car and the oil level going up a little bit. That's normal.
Want to get into the hot topic?
Oh yeah. How about that? The hot topic.
I feel like ranting.
Yeah. All right, Steve. Why don't you lead us with the hot topic then?
Well, the hot topic is now a good time, or actually, right now may not be the best time to buy a C8 Corvette for plenty of reasons. Let's start with the obvious: interest rates, because they're nuts. Literally.
Yeah.
So Justin knows about interest rates.
That honestly, that's the problem right now. Is if you don't have the cash to buy a car, especially the Z06, you're gonna finance a car at a bad interest rate. Even if you have fantastic credit, interest rates are not good right now. So whenever I had my before I paid off my ZR1, I had like a 3% interest rate. My Amber's, she had a Lincoln before her Cadillac. It was a 1.9% interest rate. Now the best we could get on that Z06 was 6.25, and that was incredibly good, because everybody else was telling me banks that are loaning auto loans under 7% are actually getting fined for doing it. So when you go to get an interest rate, you're very likely to pay 7+%, regardless of what your credit looks like.
That hurts.
It does hurt.
I always thought like 6% was like super bad credit.
It is
the going rate.
It is the going rate, and that's the thing. Is like, I don't know.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, there are some variations to this. I looked at going through a credit union, and I can't remember what their credit union. It was like 5.75 or something was the best I could get through a credit union.
5.46.
Maybe it was 5.4. But either way, they're also a little more difficult to work with whenever you need $150,000. Like, they're not really willing to give you that much money. It depends on your credit union, of course. But ultimately, what it comes down to is I wouldn't even really try to get a loan through a bank nowadays for a car, especially a used car. If it's a used car, you're paying even more. And Michael McCurry, that's exactly what my thought process was. I said, I'm going to take the car regardless what my interest rate is, because worst case scenario, I'll refinance it next year. And then that's exactly it. 11-second clips. Between high interest rates, dealership markups, pending UAW strike, this is not a great time to buy a Corvette. Because even if you want to get one customized to the point where you build it and from your dealership and it gets shipped to you after it's done, odds are good the strike's going to affect that. You're not going to get the car for probably 6 months anyway, maybe longer. Mm-hmm. And that's assuming you're already number one at your dealer. Then you got to worry about financing the car at 7+% interest. Like, this is a horrible time to buy a car, period, let alone a C8, because of how hard they are to get.
Is there an update on that strike?
There was a slight update on the strike I wanted to talk about. I couldn't find it in text here, but the GM offered the workers like a 16% pay increase or something.
What do they make?
And
150,000 now?
they didn't really say exactly what the workers' reaction was to that, but it kind of sounded like they laughed. So it is really looking like this strike is going to happen. Yeah, guys, let's get those thumbs ups. I don't think we have If you haven't donated yet, guys, you're going to want to do that because we are giving this gun safe away. Okay, so Steve Risha donates $40.
Okay, got it.
So,
Ooh. Roger's down with an ankle.
nah.
Yeah, that's what Bruno just said.
Is he hurt? Oh my lord! If he gets hurt the first game, the Jets are going to feel like such idiots. Yeah. Pete says, "Wow, 16% raise. No wonder why cars are so expensive." The sad part is, Pete, it's going to go higher. GM's not going to get out of this for probably less than 25 to 30%. And every time they have to raise the rates or the pay, that comes directly out of your pocket because someone's paying for that difference. Now, I'm not saying that the workers don't deserve it because from what I understand, they do. And they see what Chevy's selling these cars for and everything, and they feel like they should get paid as well. And I agree. So, oh, nice.
He
So
got his delivery date changed.
2020 Matrix 8, Jeremy said he'll be there on the 19th with us. So, again, guys, if you want to come down to the Corvette Museum, 2020 Matrix 8, Jeremy, Shane, and I will all be there. Those two will be taking delivery of a car. I'll just be staying there with a camera. So, come down and say hi and hang out and see some cool cars.
Wish I could have went.
Hey, I want to get back. This could help somebody out. I was just double checking. So interest rates are crazy. So an option for you, and this I went with this, is a flex loan. So I did a 60-month flex loan. My interest rate is 3.9. So yeah, that was a year ago. It might be a little higher, but how a flex loan works through the people I have, it's kind of like a lease, but not the same. Like you own the car. Like at any time I could sell this car. At the end of my 60 months, I could either buy it, trade it in, do whatever I want with it, or refinance it with this people. I go to Credit Union of Texas, and here's why this is a good plan. In these current interest rates, the interest rates were going up. When I bought my car at 3.9, they're already at 6. So like 5.9 or whatever it was. So the ability is you can refinance this at any time as well. So if interest rates dropped, you can actually refinance it. But perfect example. So one of their a traditional financing on a certain vehicle is like $1,016 a month. It's only $681 under a flex loan. So big difference. You're talking $300 a month. So there's actually some opportunities out there to get it better. Right now, I'm not going to have a 7% interest rate, but that's a good option for people that are trying to get a car. Like I said, it's Credit Union of Texas does it, and it's called the flex loan.
Okay, so is that a credit union thing?
Yep.
Okay.
And there's other places that have it, but this one happened. It's insane. You do get. I punched in the car, and I did my little credit app. I got a decision in 1 minute.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was so easy. They deal with everything. I walked into my dealership. They were ticked because the dealership, he literally told me, he's like,
Yep.
you know, they make money off financing. And then
Yep.
the guy's like, I told him, I said, you can beat this, I'll sign it. And he goes, I can't even come close to that.
You're right.
Like, so my C8 payment is $600 a month. I have a 2LT, $600 a month. And that's pretty low for a lot of people.
Hey, Ed, we actually just discussed the air filter results on here, and people were just as surprised as I was to see that much of a gain. So we got another donation from Dr. Corvette, $50. So he gets 10 entries.
Got it.
For winning that. Let's see. So one of the I might actually look into this flex loan whenever I go to refinance my car, but that's not a bad option. I would like to hear more about how it works, and maybe one of these days we should talk a lot more about the details.
You're going to owe some, but it depends on how long you're going to keep it. I didn't keep my last car for 4 years, so there's lower value. Like, it's crazy how much you're talking when you're talking about. I know you don't have to be a member because I wasn't one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I literally did it online to see if I could get it, and I got it. So it's great. You can sell it anytime. Like, believe me. Okay, I owe 60, and my car's damn near 80. So I already have equity in the car. So yeah, I put some money down though. I put 20 grand down. But even if you didn't do that, it's a good option. I mean, you're talking 3.9 versus 7. Like, it's kind of like buy you some time. At least you're paying down at a slower rate.
Yeah, we'll talk more about this in the future, I think, guys. Raman says, do the C701 and C706 have the same size air filters? They do if it's the stock air filter. Or even if it's the Jake Performance air filter, it would be the same on both cars. So once this air filter is able to be locked down for the Jake Performance, it will fit the Jake Performance filter on the C701, C706, Grand Sport, Stingray. It doesn't matter. They're all the same size. But if you have the stock air intake now, the filter already exists. An Attack Blue air filter already exists, and you can get it on my website if you check out the link in the description down below. That filter already exists. So if you don't have the Performance Jake intake, you can get the filter now. Brobarian, I agree. We do. I do my best to keep that to a minimum. Sometimes this guy runs wild, and I gotta reel him in. But yeah.
Where?
You.
Yeah.
Hey, check your out, Bendo.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
I'm gonna tell FJB.
Are you talking about me, Jason Brussman?
Yeah.
That's rude.
FJ Brusman.
That's disrespectful.
John Perkins, I don't see anything in here. I'm not sure if you.
So Rogers is out of the game.
Oh no.
Wow, that is that's messed up. I don't wish any ill will, but at the same time, like, you should stay with the Packers, bro. One of those things. Yeah, LT4 powered says, if I'm not mistaken, though, the filter does better with forced induction than NA, and he's 100% right. So forced induction relies heavily on being able to take in as much air as possible, and a filter that flows better, of course, is going to do better under that kind of circumstance. So, yes, you're going to gain more power on the Z06 or the ZR1 than you would on the Stingray.
Vet father.
Vet father in his house.
What's up,
All right.
old man?
So, guys, let's talk about one other thing. Went to Gmail, I think. John Perkins, Gmail.
How do you send a Gmail?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you would have sent a Gmail. I'm not sure on that one, John. How much did you send? One other thing I wanted to talk about tonight, guys, is, like I said, the Ron Fellows Z06 classes. So I'm going to take the first 4 people that tell me that they're in on this. So right now, tell me if you want to go as a Z06. It's likely to be in June at this point. That's how far out we are. June. I need your name right now in this chat. I'm going to take the first 4 people that say that they're going, and that's going to be our list.
Hey, John.
I wouldn't wait much longer than that, man. July, August.
I was gonna say even June. I didn't want to do. I was originally trying to get in for February, but that class filled up like instantly. So I want to get our names on this list ASAP. And right now that means June. Evan, you're in for the Z06? I'll tell you what, guys. Evan, you're number 1. Send me an email. horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com.
BPR.
BPR is already in. I already know that. Send me an email, Evan. I need to know your first and last name so I can get you on this list. Shane, are you saying you're in?
Hey, Larry Anthony.
Larry, what's up?
What's up, Larry? Ron Fellows is the Z06 class. I'm putting together a class so we can all go at the same time. If you're interested, I need to know. I only got 4 spots because they're only allowing 6 people at a time.
Well, Elijah said he was in and then he retracted it. So is he still in or is he out?
All right, Evan, like I said, just shoot me an email so I can get you on that list. you'll be number 1, aside from the other 2 people. So we got 3 spots left. I'm waiting to see if Shane was talking about, are you going to want to go in June as well, Shane? Or
Yes, Elijah.
yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. It's likely to be June. That's the next opening.
Hey, Justin, John said he sent $50. John Perkins.
John Perkins. Yeah, I don't have $50 from him. I'm not sure. John, if you can send me an email, I don't see it in my Venmo, so I don't know how you would have sent it on Gmail. If you want to send me an email, we can get it worked out, but I don't see it currently.
Shane said yes.
Okay, so then we're down to 1. We got 1 guy left.
Wow.
You watch, mine will come, like, they'll tell me tomorrow, hey, man, your allocation's in.
No, it's a total of 6. So number 1 was already off, so then it was 5, and then BPR Z06 was already good. He's handling this, so there was only 4 spots. We got 1 left. Evan, send me an email. Shane, send me an email as well. I just want to have this in writing so I can not forget about people. And BPR, if you could have Mike also send me an email or a text or something. We got 1 more spot.
River Mutt, did you get him?
No, did he put something? Oh, okay, River
Yeah,
Mutt.
but
All right,
yeah.
River Mutt's it. That's it then. So
just that he's out.
send me an email, River Mutt. I need this in email. If you don't send me an email, I'm gonna have to get somebody else to do this because I need all of these in email so I can make a list of this. Any of you guys that are going to the Ron Fellows that I've commented about, send me an email. horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. I need to have this in a list form so we can get this out to Ron Fellows and get our stuff scheduled and ready to go.
Oh, you got to buy insurance when you're there?
You don't have to, but if you don't and you wreck the car, that's going to be a problem for your pocket.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what was weird is that I could get it on my wife's. She drove the Stingray. I drove the Grand Sport because I had it, but they wouldn't let me do the insurance on the Grand Sport. I'm not sure why, but they said no on the Grand Sport at the time. Luckily, she is the one that went off the track, but no damage.
Oh, she did?
She did.
That's funny.
She has a very, very heavy foot.
BPR said it's not a bad idea to provide the VIN or something in the email.
Yeah, that's true too, guys. So when you're going to email me about the Ron Fellows, give me your first name, last name, and the VIN number of your car if you have it already. Some of you guys might not have that yet. That's okay. But if you do, give me that as well so we can get all this scheduled. So Shane, I just answered that question, I guess. But I really need it in email, guys. Please don't get mad at me if you don't send me an email and I forget about this because there's a billion things going on up here. Trust me. You got to shoot me an email.
I think we need to give this thing away.
Yeah. So, guys, last minute donations. Let's set that up. I do not have anything from John. I'm not sure what to do with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I even looked at my PayPal. I don't know where that would have gone.
Cool.
What's up, Tyler? Thanks for tuning in, guys. You want to talk about the giveaway one more time, Steve?
Last is the StopBox Ward. If you're a gun owner, you want one of these. These are amazing. And it's wall mounted and lockable. So it's going to ship out tomorrow.
And
Brand new.
when it is locked, there's the finger combination at the top so you can quickly get to it.
Yep.
This is not for a C8 Corvette. This particular giveaway is for any gun owner.
I put it in my garage.
Yeah.
It's in my garage. Buy the C8 Corvette.
So, guys, last minute donations. If you want to take a chance to win, every $10 is an entry. $50 gives you double entries, and $100 gives you triple entries. So, the Venmo link is at the top of the chat. And actually, you know what? We have a poll going. I want to end this. So, surprisingly enough, we have 147 votes, and 29% of you said that you would drive a full EV Corvette. That's actually higher than I thought it would be.
How many?
No, they said, would you drive it? You
20,
said no.
29% said yes. So 29.
I will
let
drive
me do
one.
some math here.
Buy
We had
one.
149 votes. That's 43 people. Interesting.
Cool.
All right. So again, guys, last minutes to enter. I'm going to give it another 2 more minutes. So at 8:43, we are going to run this promotion to see who won. Yeah, that's BPR 06. That's probably what I should have said. I don't know why I said would you drive one, because yeah, I would drive any kind of car, but would you buy it? Yeah.
Man, I drove the Ford Lightning and I loved it. I'm never going to buy one. I mean, maybe for that daily or something, you know, work, but
Oh yeah, you called me right after driving it. You're
I
like,
did. I'm not kidding, man. I actually really enjoyed the Ford Lightning. I mean, I loved it. It completely changed my opinion of EVs. It didn't make me want a Corvette EV though.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
what the Lamborghini EV is going to be? Whew. That thing's
Well,
gotta be quick.
here's the biggest problem that I've heard with the Ford Lightning is when you drive it as just a truck, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
When you hook up something to it to
Yeah,
trailer
no.
it, your fuel or your battery charge mileage goes to like
Yeah, no.
20. Like you
That's
literally you're pulling something and you got 20 miles before you got to charge it again.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, Mark, we talked about that. Mark's like, yeah, it's not there yet.
No,
It's
and
absolutely
that's
not.
the
Like,
biggest
for
problem
him-
with EVs across the board is that it's not there yet for any of it.
Yeah.
They're forcing a
Like-
technology that's not ready yet.
like Mark said, he didn't care. That's not what he didn't purchase it
Yeah.
for, you know, dragging a trailer, because if you do, that's not the one for you, you know?
Yep, exactly. But for the most part, that's what people are buying trucks for. Putting
Yeah.
stuff in the bed, trailering things,
Yep.
doing off-roading, whatever the case may
Mhm.
be, trucks are built for a certain purpose.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at 8:43. All right, we got one more entry. Keith French donates $20.
Okay, let me get that in there.
And that is it. So let's run this thing.
What are you doing?
Let me get it. Let me get Keith French in this thing real quick.
While he's doing that, I want to mention I have a new video that came out earlier, and it is with Corvette Warehouse at their brand new location, and I love this place. It looks really nice inside. So if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure you haven't because we've been on here, but go check it out when the video's over.
It looks really good in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. The new Corvette warehouse is that's the
Okay.
location for sure.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
There's
Hit the
the screen and raffle.
Blown
Blown
Six
Six
Gen.
Gen.
Is he in
only
here?
put, yeah, I don't know if he was in here, but he only puts, I think it was $60.
No, he's not in here.
No, I've seen him, so I have to let him know. I know he wants. He was last week's.
He put what, $60?
Yep, 60.
Okay, so $60 just won him over
Actually,
a $200
no,
item.
actually, we were doing double entries last week, so he only put 30.
Oh, so $30. Nice.
Dude, that's a killer deal.
That is a killer deal. $30 for a
And I know
$200
he'll
product.
want it, so we need to get his stuff.
All right, so Blown 6 Gen, if you watch this later, shoot me an email. I can get it over to Steve, and he can get this thing sent out for you tomorrow.
That's crazy.
11-second Eclipse. He said that he likes your videos, Jason. He must be the
Oh,
only one.
sweet. yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry
Thanks,
about it.
11
You'll
second.
get a copy version later.
2020 Matrix 8. I am probably going to try. I don't want to say yes or no to that yet because going live from the phone is always a real hit or miss kind of thing. So I'm gonna do my best though. I think it would be pretty cool to go live, especially if we could do it in the actual museum. That'd be awesome.
Are you
But
allowed to
we'll see.
go live in there?
I don't know if I'd be able to fly out there particularly. I'd have to check out the costs of flights, which have of course, gone up with interest rates. So,
No.
but we'll see.
You know, I'd love to go out there. I've never been to that part of California, but
Oh, that's right. Stupid Fast Truck said he won a $100 license plate frame with $10.
nice.
That's right.
Yeah, Jeremy, you can watch the live video live because you'll be standing there. You'll be part of it if I do it. If I do it there,
Yeah.
I'll get you guys in there for sure. Let's see. There was a question here I wanted to. Oh yeah, so Mark Cutsey says, "Congrats, Blown 6. Unfortunately, you got to be present to win." We actually never said that. But honestly, we probably should start incorporating something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we should or not, to be honest. But
Bye, Steve. Oh,
yeah.
You just blinked out for a second.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah, we just lost you for a hot second. It was a black screen.
All right, Vet Father, let's talk about that then. Shoot me a text. We'll talk a little bit about it, see what we can figure out. Oh, yeah. Driving in on the 17th. We'll be there on the 18th. So let's definitely do that.
Exactly.
Mark is a troll, yeah. All right. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Winner, Blown 6 Gen. Of course, he got the gun safe, which is pretty cool. But I think for next Monday night, I'm going to be in Bowling Green. As of right now, we're still planning on a live video of some kind. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to happen yet, but stay tuned. Smash the thumbs up button if you guys could, please. It really helps the channel, and it's going to make it so these things get bigger and better every week. So please hit that thumbs up button.
Those thumbs up are crazy.
But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's going to be all we're going to be discussing for today. So if you guys want to tune in, same time, same place. Next week, it'll be pretty cool. We're going to have 2 brand new Z06s
It'll
getting
be same
talked about.
time, different place.
Yeah. Well, it's the same place for them, just different place for me. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it. So we'll see you next week.
See ya.